All right, guys, today's the day. We're gonna go film with the ZR1. Oh yeah, and she's looking real good today. So all right, in this video, we're gonna talk about really a lot of the build list and everything for this car and some other details and everything that we just wanted to go over with you guys. We're also gonna get some B-roll. We're gonna make her look real pretty today. Let's get into it. We're in student driver key tag, of course. Let's fire it up. Of course, it's in quiet mode, so we're gonna go in here, sound management, scroll all the way to the bottom. It's gotta be in sport. Actually, track. All right, now we're ready to go. To go terrorize Hershey today. So we're gonna go over there, but first we've got to do some maneuvering because this is quite a steep incline here. All right, made it. Off to Hershey. It is a beautiful day out, and you know what better day to take this thing for a little drive, talk to you guys. Oh man. It is always a good day for a fat cam. It is shaking the camera. All right, fat cam. Oh yeah. Now one of the best parts about this thing is that when you flip this into manual mode, you can do this. Gets old. This car is addicting to drive. I believe in being open and honest on this channel, so I'll be honest, I might have missed the exit to Hershey because I was playing with the pops and burbles and stuff, but it's okay because we're back on track. Anyway. Alright guys, we've made it. We're at the good old Hershey Med. Let's go. I must say, one of my favorite things about this car has to be the steering wheel. It is awesome. I mean, look at that. Carbon everywhere. This car really does has carbon everywhere. I really wanted to give you guys a nice walk around of the car. I know you've seen it on Mike's channel like a whole lot. He's had it for what, 4 years now. But like I said, carbon everywhere. Carbon roof, carbon hood, carbon front splitter, naturally, carbon side skirts, carbon intake, carbon wing. Am I missing anything else? I think I got it all. Oh, I am missing something. And of course the carbon bucket seats. Gotta have that one. This really is like such a beautiful spot up here. This is one of my favorite places to come and shoot anymore. Hershey Medical, awesome hospital. It is huge. And way out there in the distance, the Hershey Hotel. Awesome. The big old Reese's plant over there where they make all of your favorite chocolate. You can see the kissing tower out there in the distance as well. Now there's so much wind, but yeah, you guys, one of you is going to be very, very lucky when you get this phone call because this thing is a monster. I had never driven this car before this giveaway started. It was one of those things that I just didn't really want to touch because it was Mike's like prized possession. So I preferred to just, keep my hands off of it, which has done me well. But here we are, and we're ready to give it to one of you guys. So we know you're gonna enjoy it. Now, if you remember correctly, Mike had his old carbon fiber wheels on here. That is not the case anymore. We switched it back, wanted to keep the car looking a little bit more original. But we switched it back to the original ZR1 wheels that they had on it, and for not being aftermarket wheels, those are sick. I mean, honestly, I love it. Obviously LMR built the car. Insane car. They built this thing so well. It is very daily drivable, which is odd to say about an almost 1,000 horsepower car. It's essentially a race car, but you can just drive it on the street if you want. It's wild. They absolutely killed this whole build. And people ask about them all the time because we obviously have that on the on the windshield, and we've got their plate on. This is the plate we really just rep on this car at this point. A couple other things were changed. Obviously, when Mike had it, he had it a little bit more high power. I think it was like around the 1100 horsepower mark. So we took it down a little bit just so that it was a bit safer. Obviously, if you guys want to, you know, whoever wins it can send it back on down to LMR, and I'm sure they'd be very, very happy to take it back up to what it was. It's not like it's slow, though. I assure you, it is not slow. It is still very much so a fun car to drive around in. And more importantly, now it's on pump gas. So none of that ordering gas online or anything like that. You actually can just go to the gas station and fill it up. And I will say that's very convenient, because watching Mike try to dump gallons and gallons of gas into this thing was hilarious, but I would never want to do that. Amongst some other mods, obviously, we have the Aventador headlights. I think they actually look sick, and at night, it looks unbelievable, this whole car. But the headlights really they bring it to a much more modern stance. And they work super well too. They actually really brighten up the road. They look great. Now, we also have, and Mike did these recently, but they are, I'll turn them on for you guys. So these are the C8 taillights, and I think they're also really cool. It brings it up again, like I said, to a much more modern, like, just look. A huge improvement from what was on it. And they're sequential too, so awesome. When I asked Mike for the build list for this car, if you could get it from LMR, I didn't think it was going to be extensive as it is. I don't know why I thought that. I should have known. So I'm just gonna put it up on the screen for you guys right here. Read through it, you'll understand it maybe more than I will. There's been a lot of stuff done to this car, but it is still very daily drivable, and you can actually just take it to the gas station and fill it up whenever you want. That's crazy to me, that you get this much power and drivability out of a car that you can actually just drive every day without an issue. Now, just on the way here, actually, I had somebody ask me what the exhaust was on this thing. It is a Corvette exhaust. Believe me, we were letting everybody hear it on the way here. This is a great spec'd out car too, because not only is it black, it looks absolutely mean in black, but the blue brake calipers and the random pieces of just blue detail and everything on it, even on the steering wheel. Got the blue paddle shifters, you've got the blue racing stripe at the top of the steering wheel there, and it really ties it all together. So I love the blue accents on this thing. You guys have heard enough of me talking, I think that's enough. So let's just cue the montage. Before we get back to the shop, actually, I think we're gonna, I think it's illegal to drive through Hershey and not go to Hershey Park. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna show you guys where I used to work. Woo! Well, guys, this is downtown Hershey. Oh yeah, Chocolate Ave. All right, this is Hershey Park. This is the ride that I was working at. The day that I met Mike was at this ride. Been going there for as long as I can remember. That's the newest roller coaster they built. It is crazy. Super fun. If you haven't been to Hershey Park yet and you live in the area, or even if you don't live in the area, I recommend going. Take your whole family. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it is well worth it. Yeah, just go. Just go ahead. All right, now we're gonna go back to the shop. ZR1 out here breaking necks. Everyone's looking. I feel like something that should be mentioned about me is that, like, I didn't grow up around muscle cars or anything like this. I didn't grow up around Corvettes or Camaros or Mustangs or any of that. I've always really liked all the German stuff, and I kind of grew up around it too. So the whole reason I even really got into cars was because of my dad's Mini Cooper back in the day. I know, what a car to get into, but it was honestly a really fun car. So I've always learned a lot about the more Audi, BMW, Mercedes side of stuff. And I'll admit, I was never a big fan of this kind of car. It just didn't really appeal to me. But I think Mike has kind of converted me a little bit now. After driving all of these, all the past giveaways and everything, I think I've been converted. I like the American stuff now. It's definitely growing on me. My personal car is just an Audi A4, so it's about as German as it can really get anymore. But I love my Lambos, I love all that kind of stuff. So anytime Mike gets a new Lambo, it's always my favorite moment, because it just means that I'm gonna get to ride around in it and stuff. And since you guys are gonna be seeing a whole lot more of me now, I feel like that's good information to put out there. You know, between all the Hellcats and Mustangs and everything that we've done in the past, all been like 800, 900, 1,000 horsepower and everything. They're very fun cars, and it's like almost addicting just hearing them. I think is the biggest part. Just having a loud muscle car that makes an amount of power that it really can't even put down anyway. There's just something fun about that. I think it's just the excessiveness of it. But this car is so different than all of those. I mean, it's so light. That wing on the back, it's planted, and it feels really good. So you're gonna love this as a daily car almost. Something about the awesome muscle car like roughness, but I also love feeling I'm floating on a cloud. So while this is dailyable, I don't know if I can do it. We've taken this thing up to the Poconos so many times, and it's beaten a lot of cars that I really didn't think it was going to beat, or at least keep up with. So it's got quite the racing history behind this specific car. You guys know Mike had it for like 4 years. Should have known, but we are out of gas. So, welcome to Sheetz. Let's do it. Pretty much have to drive this car and then fill it up with gas immediately. Wasn't enough ZR1 content for you. This thing's back on the carbon wheels, and my God, does it look good. Oh, I love this car. Look at that. Oh yeah. All right, thanks for watching the video, guys. New signs are up. Check those out. If you're wondering why, interesting story behind that. But anyway, stay tuned. Many more uploads coming from the new 717 Supply shop. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.